So now we need to equip our app so that our users can create chat rooms of their own. We already have an input field on the rooms page along with the button that says create. So let's wire them all up. First up, I'm going to get rid of these two demo records that I pushed into the app.locals.chatrooms array. Now in our rooms.ejs page, we've got an anchor tag with an ID named createBTN, and we've got an input field with the name room name. So let's first create a variable that caches the jQuery selector for our input field. I've taken the liberty of using jQuery in this project. If you feel at any stage that you are unable to understand a particular jQuery method or workflow, please feel free to ask in the forum and I'll be happy to help. Okay, next, using jQuery again, we'll select the create button using its ID and we'll attach an event listener for the click event. Now inside the event callback, we'll first access the contents of the input field like so, and we'll check to see if it is empty or not. So if the user has typed something, this condition would resolve to a true state, and when that happens, we'll use socket.emit to send an event titled create new room, and we'll attach along the contents of the input field which translate to the topic or title of the chat room that the user wishes to create. So in plain simple words, we are instructing our socket.io counterpart on the server to create a new chat room, and we are letting it know the name of the chat room that the user has typed in. Now at the same time, we'll also set the contents of the input field to a blank string. We are doing this to clear out the input field once we've got what the user has typed in. Back in our socket module and within the rooms list namespace, we'll create an event listener for the create new room event, and let's just console log out what we're getting from the rooms page here. Let's test this for a moment. Our app has restarted already, and let's click on the login with Facebook button to log in, and once we are on the rooms page, I'll type in good food as the topic for my chat room, and when I hit create, the input field clears out and you can see the word good food appear on the terminal. So our socket code is indeed sending out the contents of the text field back to the server. What needs to be done now is to first look up the app.locals.chatrooms array to see if a room with a similar title exists or not, and if not, then create one and add to the array before broadcasting the updated array out to the user who has created it and to everyone else who's connected to the rooms page at that moment. This way, everyone gets a real-time updated list of chat rooms and they don't need to refresh the page. So let's write a helper function that checks to see if a room with the same title exists or not. We'll go into our helpers module and we'll create a function called findRoomByName. This function takes in the all rooms array and the title of the room to check for. Inside the function, we'll create a variable called findRoom, and for its value, I'll access the all rooms array and I'll use the findIndex method. The findIndex method is a brand new ES function that operates on arrays, and as it iterates over every item in the array, it provides us with a reference to the exact element, the index number of that element, and access to the array itself through its callback function. The reason we have a callback is for us to provide the findIndex method with a custom condition to operate on the array. At the end, if you're able to find the element we are looking for, the findIndex will return the index number of that element, or else it will return a value -1. So using an if statement, we'll access the element variable which will resolve to an object as the findIndex iterates through the array, and we'll access the room property which is where we are storing the title of the chat rooms. We then check to see if it matches the value of the room argument which we are passing into the findRoomByName helper function, and if it does match, we return a true or else we return a false. If this if statement returns a true, the find index method simply returns the index number of that element. Otherwise, if the element is not found, we'll get -1 as the value. The find index method works great when we have an array of objects as we have here in this case. Now, once we have a possible index value, we'll use a ternary operator to check if the value is greater than -1 or not. If it is greater than -1, then we'll return a true, indicating the presence of a similarly titled room, or else we return a false, indicating that we have an available opportunity to create a chat room for the given title. I must mention that I'm using a simple equality operator in the find index callback when we are trying to match the name. This can obviously be fooled easily by typing in a different case, for instance, or including spaces or other characters. However, here, as a learning exercise, I've deliberately kept it this way. I invite you to implement a mechanism whereby this match is performed more thoroughly, perhaps using a regular expression to ensure zero slippage. Back in the socket module now, we'll access the find room by name method and we'll pass in the all rooms array reference and the new room input, which brings in the chat room title from the rooms page through the create new room event. Since find room by name would return a true if a room with the matching title is found, we'll simply negate this condition, and if so, we'll type allrooms.push and we'll push an object where the room key is set to the new room input value first. Then we want to generate a unique room ID, and for this purpose, let's quickly write a helper function that generates one for us. So back in the helpers module, I'm going to write a function that generates a unique room ID for us. And I'll call it random hex. For this function, we'll use Node's crypto module. Remember, we used this earlier in our fundamentals section. So let's bring this in first. Then I'm going to use a return statement and I'll straight away access the crypto module's random bytes method, which is used to generate random bytes of data of a given length. We'll use 24 as the value, and so we'll get 24 bytes worth of random data. Now, to get this random data out as a string, we'll chain in a toString method set to output a hex value. This one-liner notation without any callback results in the random bytes function being executed in synchronous mode. This works for our simple case here. By the way, let's export both the find room by name and random hex methods out so that we can access them in our socket module. And back in the socket module, we'll simply run the random hex method to dynamically generate a random hex string that is 24 bytes in length as our room ID. Finally, we'll also initialize a user's array, and this creates our new chat room based on what the user wanted. Now, to let everyone know about it, we'll start by emitting out this updated list to the one who created the new chat room. For this, we'll use our socket.emit method as we've done in the past to emit the chat rooms list event, which will render the list on our rooms page. And we are passing a stringified version of the updated all rooms array. What is important to note here is that socket.emit only sends data to the user who created this chat room and not to everyone else who's connected at that moment to the rooms page. In other words, socket.emit only emits back to the actively connected socket, and you might want to remember that as a key feature. Now, to ensure our updated list reaches all those who are actively connected to the rooms page at that moment, we'll use the socket.broadcast.emit method. The rest of the method invocation is exactly the same except for the presence of the word broadcast. This sends out the chat rooms list event to all connected sockets in the rooms list namespace. So to quickly recap, we first dispatch the desired title of the chat room to our socket module on the server, where we first check to see if a room of the same title exists or not. And if not, we create one where we dynamically generate a random ID for the new chat room being created before pushing all this into the app.locals.chatrooms array, and we then dispatch this updated array to the user who created the new chat room as well as to all those who are actively connected to the rooms page at that moment. Time to test our theory. So back in the browser, let's log in and let's attempt to create a new chat room. And it fails. Okay, let's see why. It says here on the terminal, H is not defined, which can only mean one thing, that I forgot to bring in the helpers into our socket module. Let me correct that. And let's try again. And there you go. We can see that our chat room list updates and works as expected. Of course, if we click on any of these links, it throws up our custom built world-class and award-winning 404 page. Our chat functionality is coming up next. However, notice our bright and shiny room ID here in the URL. Okay, let's see what we've got next.